welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. You've asked me to tell you about what is happening in the country, and I've decided to do just that. The holidays are over. I hope you're back at work. If you are not, itaisha too. But our conversation is about what is happening in the country. I'll be telling you about the KCSE results that have been announced, giving you my 2 cents on that, the pettiness in Raila's birthday celebration, and Ruto's war on the judiciary. All that in the next couple of minutes, because we need to understand what is happening. You know, you can go somewhere and someone tells you, you've seen this story, and you don't know nothing. I'll let you know what is happening. But let's start with the KCSE results for 2023. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Of course, there's big disappointment by so many people. Half those that sat for that exam in 2023 have scored D+ and below. 201,133 students have attained the minimum entry university grade of C+. Listen to Ezekiel Mochogu on this and tell you what I think about the disappointment that some Kenyans have with that class.
The national schools produced the highest number of candidates with an overall mean grade of A, where we had 889 A's from national schools, which was 2.486%. About 20 of the candidates had a mean of a D- from national schools. So it is not always the case that anybody and everybody who goes to a national school will be able to make it to a university. As the cabinet secretary, I'm also pained by the fact that a large number of candidates, 48,174 or 5.33%, still ended up scoring a mean grade of E in the year 2023 KCSE examination.
Now, 5.3% of the students that sat for the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education scored E. 494,307 scored D+ and below. As a parent or as a guardian, you have paid your fee, and of course you have the right to be disappointed. But this is not your exam. I have to put that clear. You cannot be as disappointed as your child is, because who doesn't want to be the best? One thing I do know for sure is what my mom wrote on my success card when I was doing my KCSE, is that one piece of paper will not and can never determine your future. That result slip will not determine the future of your child, of your friend, of that person that sat for that exam. If you guys cut short clips, cut that short clip and send it to them. Because look, we can give a lot of pressure to people because they are failed in their exams. It's of course very necessary for parents to tell their children to study and work hard, especially when they're in school, right? But after someone has finished their KCSE, why tell them that you're not doing well, you're disappointed? Why tell them? They've already finished school. The only conversation you can have is about the future. Maybe for them, the future is, I was sick during the time I was doing my exam, and therefore I can do it again. I have no problem with that. But I not advise anyone to repeat school. But you need to understand that it is their future, right? We know a lot of celebrities. We know a lot of successful people who are not good in school, some of them troublemakers in school. We know a lot of them who decided not to go to university even though they were smart and started their own businesses. Of course, this is not something you can tell your child. But one thing you can assure them is that their KCSE results will not determine what their future will look like. I for sure would have probably become a doctor. I've always known I want to do journalism. But I probably would have become a doctor if I got an A, right? But I wouldn't like it. What if your child did better? What if your child got an A and you took them to a course that they'd never liked, to live a miserable life, as some people do in careers they hate? One thing that you can do as a parent is to support them. Tell them, look, this is where we are, and this is what the future will look like. Of course, I cannot guarantee something for the students that got E, but one thing I do know in school, that we're looking for skilled labor, right? Plumbers are getting good money, electricians are getting good money. So this is something we need to consider. If you're out there actually thinking about a child of someone that you know, you send them a success card and you're thinking, let me ask them how they're doing, don't. If someone has passed, they will let you know. If they've failed, they'll let you know at their own time. This is a message I sent to someone in the morning who has done their KCSE, and this is how they replied. But we need to think about this from a future basis. not the past. The past has passed. What we can do now is to encourage the students of 2023. And again, I say congratulations. Not many students reached high school. Not many of them did their KCSE. Let's talk about Raila. Happy birthday, Baba Jacom. Raila, you're now 79 years, stronger than ever. Still fighting for the Republic. But it's a pity what happened in Nairobi CBD, Hapo Archives. Watch this video as Kenyans were celebrating his birthday and tell me whether they deserved it. Do they look like people who need to be tear gassed to disperse? Were they on the wrong? Because Adamson Bungei, police boss, says they did not get a green light to be celebrating Baba's birthday in the CBD. What do you think? Keki jamani, you listen to that woman saying, wacha nichukue hata keki jamani. They were celebrating Raila's birthday. For the first time, Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome has made me proud. For the first time, he said he will take stern action against police officers who lobbed tear gas at even hawkers that were there, sellers, mamambogas on the street who are just making their living. If you have 8 tear gas, as we say in Kenya, kama umekula tear gas, you know for an hour or two you cannot pass through that area. You cannot do anything. You'll be crying. That paper-like smell makes you cry. So you just made sure that people are not going to do business for the sake of ensuring that Raila is not celebrated. How petty can that be? What action will you take, Inspector General of Police? Because you've said you'll take action since time immemorial. Every police officer, every IG says, we will take action, we will take action. But we really need to see action this time around. Obviously, I like police officers. They defend me. There's sanity when they are police officers. Can you imagine a country without police officers? Without nowhere to report? We cannot have a country like that, right? That is pure anarchy. But look, we need to be confident that our police officers are taking care of us. We need to be confident that this is actually a police unit, a service unit. Listen to what Kalonzo Musyoka had to say about this.
We call this a very shameful act on the part of the police and on the part of those who wield responsibility. Because why on earth would anybody want to tear gas a cake of all the things? So we want to condemn this act in the strongest terms possible and say this intolerance must stop. This is not the way to begin the year 2024. Maybe somebody somewhere is afraid of a people's revolution.
Ata keki jamani, I'm still thinking about that woman. But for the real clouds of power, you'd say it's just an author who wrote this book. But they make sense. You know, when you read something, you have to critically analyze it, whether it makes sense. Let me just get a few that I think this government does not understand, right? Or whoever ordered those police to lobby tear gas. Use absence to increase strength and honor. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your worker, than your mark. Use surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Now, every time we see police officers doing this, every time they lobby tear gas, Kenyans will not be afraid of tear gas. You saw this during 2023's protest. Look at this woman standing while going for a... You appear. People stop respecting you. Absence to increase strength and honor. Every time you seem to know more, every time you seem to know much, every time you want to show your strength, you are not playing a sucker to catch a sucker. The sucker might actually catch you. And this is what people are talking about when it comes to this year's protests, if there will be. People are much more prepared. They saw how Kenyans acted last time. This time they will be more prepared. Therefore, Inspector General of Police, take charge. Make sure that your police officers, the police officers whom we highly respect, deal with Kenyans in the streets better. If you wanted them dispersed, I'm so much certain that there's something you could have done better. Let's talk about President William Ruto again, his war on the judiciary. Everyone talking about it. LSK going on protest this week.
Na watu wachache ambao tayari wako na kazi, tayari wako na mapato, ambao hawaelewi matatizo ya hawa vijana mamilioni hawana nafasi ya kufanya kazi, hawana ajira. Kwa kiburi mingi, munaenda kotini, munaenda kusema simamisha hii, simamisha hii, simamisha hii. Wewe tayari uko na mshahara, wewe uko na kazi, unaenda kuzuia hawa ambao hawana kazi. Wewe unatumia ile pesa ambaye unalipwa mshahara, unaenda tafuta wakili, unamlipa. Unaenda kotini, unahongana. Hawa ambao hawana kazi ya kulipa wakili, hawana pesa ya kuhongana kotini, hawa watu mambo yao itakuwa wapi? Ndio nimesema mimi nitasimama na hawa ambao hawana pesa ya kulipana kotini, ambao hawana pesa ya kutafuta mawakili. I am going to be their advocate, na Mungu atatusaidia mpaka hawa vijana wapate kazi. Tunaelewana? Ama hapa kwenu hawa watu wote wako na kazi? Wangapi hapa wako na kazi? Weka mkono juu. Ile mtu yuko na kazi, yuko na mshahara. Yuko watu ngapi hapa? Watu ambao hawana kazi hapa nione kwa mkono. Sasa hii dunia yote. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize, ati mnataka mimi ni nyamaze? Ati watu wachache waende kotini wapinge ile mpango tuko naye ya kusaidia at least hawa watu wapate ajira? Mnataka ati mimi ni nyamaze? Bana. Ndio mimi nimesema tafadhali kwa heshima kubwa, na mimi sitaki kugombana na mtu.
Look, it's tough times we're living in. I've had different conversations with different stakeholders about this. I've also talked about matters governance and politics for over 5-6 years. One thing I do know for certain is that when you lose the respect of people, you will not be able to govern. Now, this war on the judiciary, as much as you said on Sunday when you were in a church meeting, which of course I'm totally against, because how can you be in different churches every single Sunday if you're a believer? Stick to one. I'm sorry for speaking that way, Mr. President, but... So one thing I'm against is when government seems to be eating each other. The judiciary versus the executive. Guys saying parliament is now controlled by the president. This leads to total anarchy. We all know that. If you do not trust the justice system, people will take law into their own hands. Right? So, Mr. President, as you're working your way into smoothing things in the judiciary, which we all know the judiciary is not well. It needs to be fixed. You cannot have cases in the judiciary in courts for 5, 6, some even 20 years. You cannot deal with that, right? We need to fix things. But if you yourself cannot go through the proper avenues, what will we do? I'm right, we need to have a conversation about this, but not the conversation that you're putting across. Your agenda, Mr. President. I was almost punched by Philip Kisia, former Nairobi town clerk, for defending you, saying that you actually have your own agenda that needs to be passed. He believes that you should focus on Vision 2030. This is what he told me.
Is there wiggle room though for...
Please don't talk about your plans. We have no business.
But he was elected president. Of course he has his vision. Is there room?
Jadiel, please. You know, sometimes I have a lot of respect for you media people, but sometimes you fail.
I'm asking, is there room?
Because, listen, Jadiel, your vision, keep it to yourself and your family. That's your vision. Kenyans have their vision, it's shared vision. Immediately you get out of that vision, we deal with you. So please, implement our vision, not your vision. Don't implement, we don't care about what you think. We don't care about your plans. And we have no business about your vision. That is your vision and your family. But if you are going to continue governing this country, you must govern within the confines of the law, follow the constitution, and implement Vision 2030. That is our vision. That is our plan.
So the president, whether he thinks of doing something, he has a plan for doing something, it's not part of the vision.
That is his business. Keep it to his house. That is his business. And we have no problem. What he wants to build another Western hotel, that is his vision. We have no business. But when it comes to a shared vision, it is already documented. Go back to that document and implement that document.
Mr. President, I am loyal to you. In high school, or is it in primary school, we used to say the loyalty pledge. I pledge my loyalty to the President and to the Republic of Kenya. Readiness and duty to defend the flag of our republic. Maybe I can finish it so that I can show you how loyal I am. My devotions are words of our national anthem, my life strength in the task of our national building, the living spirit embodied in our national motto, Harambee, and perpetuated in the national philosophy of peace, love, and unity. I might actually be one of your best employees, if I am. Because I'm telling you the truth. What is happening in the country is shambolic. Government looks shambolic. One thing we can do for certain is to look at what we're doing wrong. Fix things, right? Say this is what is happening in the country, this is where we're getting it wrong, and this is how we can fix it. Talk to the CJ, you have a number. Tell her you're oblivious, as Herman Manyora, the senior counsel, said. You're oblivious of the situation that is happening in the country. Just tell her that and look for ways to fix it. If you bring that case to the public, how can we fix it? This is a very important question that we need to ask ourselves, and you need to ask the people close to you. We all want the best for you, Mr. President, in 2024. We all want the cost of living to go down. We all want bei ya unga, bei ya sukari na mafuta iende chini. But the only way we can do that is we stop fighting and we start talking. And this is my prayer for you. This is what's up, the first conversation I'm having with you directly. Kenyans, Mr. President, Raila Odinga, happy birthday. I hope we have ourselves a happy 2024. I hope the cost of living goes down. And I hope you don't beat me too much because I've been hard. Next time will be even harder. Goodbye for now.